I hate it when I have unread messages from like 3 days ago sitting there. Like, okay. Is our sound?
Sound's going.
This doesn't look very loud. Is that better?
Oh.
I'm just gonna go up a little bit more to just mess with everything. There.
I don't know if. Are you sure you're going the right way?
I just did a whole bunch there. Is that better?
Yeah. Now we're close to.
The door slam peaked. So, we're past the first 6 movies.
Yeah.
We've done it. I can say I've watched Star Wars. Mainly, right?
Yeah, you've watched the classic era and then the Attitude era, which is the prequels. And now we're on to the modern era. With the Disney films. The sequel trilogy.
And Adam Driver.
Dreamy Adam Driver.
I don't get it.
Wait, hold on. I can't tell if you guys are joking right now.
No, I think Adam Driver's a great actor.
I think he's a great actor, but I don't think he's dreamy.
Do you see his hair?
Just wait until the next movie. You'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got that scar now. Oops, spoilers.
Well, I saw him get the cut.
I'm like, if someone who's watching this who hasn't seen the next movie, if they're watching along with us.
There's also
It's true, there's probably
a
like
great
30
scene
people.
in The Last Jedi.
Huh?
You know the scene I'm talking about in The Last Jedi?
Which scene?
The shirtless one?
Oh, the one with the high pants?
Yes.
Oh, damn it, spoilers, sorry.
Is it like Bruce Lee set up, like where he's got the high pants and the no shirt?
Sort of. You're going to laugh at it no matter what. I like that scene, but you're going to laugh when you see it. But anyway, we're talking about The Force Awakens. So,
Yeah.
any strong opinions?
Why don't we go through and give our opinions of the movie?
Um,
Should we compare it as a movie or compare it to the previous movies?
I'm going to do both.
Okay.
I think it's easier to start by comparing it to the other ones. So, it's better than the prequels.
I agree with that.
We'll get into it, but I feel like the way that Disney produces their movies, and even it goes into their TV shows, I feel like they try to recreate the old Star Wars, but it just doesn't have the same charm.
Well,
the same feel or whatever.
We're getting to the era where they're not making movies or TV shows anymore. They're making content. They're making content for everyone, so people can be like, "Oh, I know that guy." Mm-hmm. So they made the Boba Fett show. It's why they made the Obi-Wan show. It's like, I remember that. Let's make a show about it. Like before, it was like you have to wait a long time for any new Star Wars thing. Now it's like content. Mm-hmm. It's a factory. It's like what they do with Marvel.
Yeah. What year did this movie come out?
2015.
Okay. So it is fairly new.
It's 7 years old.
It's not too bad.
It came out 10 years after
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you done with your initial thoughts? Okay, I'm going to say I had a blast watching this movie. I thought it was really fun. I agreed with Chad earlier. I like it more than any of the prequels. I think it's much better made.
Yeah.
It's hard to specifically go into. I don't want to go into specifics right now, but just in general, I really enjoyed the movie.
I'd be agreeing with Kyle. Like, I actually enjoyed the movie quite a bit. It took me a while to kind of, because it was a lot of new characters, obviously, and so I was like just getting used to the old ones, and then they introduced a lot, like the BB-8.
BB-8. I like BB-8.
Yeah, I find him better than R2 and C3PO.
I just like the effect, the ball and stuff. They actually made that. That's not CGI. That's awesome.
I have a friend
with now I want to think about the mechanics and how they made that. But
I have a friend with a robotic BB-8. It's like this tall, and it's like a magnet that sits on the top.
Well, I'm going to do a shout out to our longtime viewer, Benny Boy.
Is he a viewer?
I don't know, but this might give out who it is, but his boss made an actual working BB-8.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on Discovery Channel.
Really?
Yeah. Ask Ben about it. But Benny Boy, I mean, okay. But yeah,
I kind of want to say the company he works for right now, and then have you beep it out, but or it's probably me beep it out. I did enjoy it. It took me a while to get into the characters. I was quite confused at the first. They were on a planet that had the old Jedi-looking guy. Was he a Jedi?
Jakku. I have no clue who that character is.
Yeah, that's
he
not
seemed
Jack.
like He seemed
They're
like
on
he was
Jakku.
one of the
That's
council.
Jakku? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that old guy is Max von Sydow, the actor.
I know who this actor
No,
is.
I
but
know. I'm not saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I think the only reason he's in there is because they wanted to get him into the movie. He's a very famous, like, old-timey actor.
He died really quickly.
He died in real life not long after this movie, so... so, I just think he's cool. He's in the movie. It's like, in the prequel, Sam Jackson was in it. His character sucked, but he was in it. That's neat.
Yeah.
So,
I thought he was one of the like original council people just grown up or something. Or I thought he was was he a remaining Jedi?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
That's the essence I got.
He apparently knew Kylo Ren and knew about his parents and stuff, so they must have known each other.
I wonder if there was like supposed to be more story with him in like the later, just because he died.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, I like that opening a lot. Like, it brings me to the thing I want to talk about, which is this is directed by J.J. Abrams. And the direction and how it's edited and shot, I think is fantastic. Like, it's really good. I'm not a big fan of his Star Trek movies because he just tried to turn them into Star Wars.
Right.
But him actually making Star Wars, like, he knows what he's doing. Like, it's like really slick and polished, and like I could follow what was going on. Like, it was like super cool. The coolest part of it being when Poe shoots him. Shoots Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren's like, nope, and just stops the thing.
That was a really cool.
That was like the fucking coolest thing.
So here's what I one of the gripes of this movie, although I'm not convinced, I gotta wait to watch the next movies, but I don't know if I like the villain or not, Kylo Ren. I'm not sure yet, because at first that was awesome. I'm thinking, okay, this is the next most powerful, possible being, all this stuff, really cool. And then by the end, he gets beat by someone who's been a Jedi for 15 minutes. And it's like...
I want to...
So maybe there's more to that, but like I was a little confused. So I love him as a character. I feel like I'm probably going to like him as it goes on, but I was confused by him right now.
Last Jedi, you get to know more about him. So I'll just say this for the record. Kylo Ren is my favorite Star Wars character.
Really?
Not because, I just find him so interesting. Like, I think...
I find... Oh, go ahead.
Seeing Last Jedi and going back to this is only the second time I've gone back to watch Force Awakens. Like, knowing what I know about the future movies, like, his character makes a lot more sense to me in the way he, like, acts and stuff. But yeah, I don't want to go too into that, but, like he has, it owes a lot to the fact that Adam Driver is a great actor and he delivers, like, everything so well. Like, it feels a lot like what they tried to do with Anakin in the prequels.
I was just going to say that.
That conflicted nature, but it's done a lot better.
Yes.
Yeah. You mean he doesn't have an uncomfortable love scene on a beach?
On a balcony with a beach over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Sand.
He doesn't, but that's why...
He was really trying to lean in for a kiss on Finn when they were... fighting with lightsabers in the
when he stabs him in the shoulder. When he stabs him in the shoulder.
He went for a kiss there.
That was cool, by the way. Kylo Ren's Claymore lightsaber with the laser things on the side, where I'm like, how is that practical? If your hand slip, you're going to cut your fingers off.
I was thinking that too. Even if you spin it around and stuff.
Yeah, but even if you just like slightly, you could miss those guards and like, whoop! That didn't really help at all.
Someone knocks it out of your hand or inward or anything like that, and just slice your fingers right off.
But I like the fact that they thought of a practical purpose because he jams the hilt into Finn's shoulder. Yeah. That was fucking cool.
And it's like, why didn't it just like it just burned, right? Like, I was expecting it to like, unless it
didn't
was
it go like inside the shoulder?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it like pierced.
That was cool. But I want to talk about how the fact that what you just said about how Kylo Ren could lose. I think the movie does a good enough job showing how Rey could beat him.
Yes, I guess it's more like
because he got shot in the gut right before the fight.
That's a good point.
That's the only reason that's in the movie is because they need to level the playing ground because there's no real reason to have him get shot in the gut.
Shot in the gut?
Yeah,
Chewie shot him.
After he kills Han, Chewie shoots him, and they make a point of showing him bleeding all over the snow, and he's gripping his stomach. During the fight, he's like, "Oh!" And he starts punching his own stomach. Like, come on, keep it together. It's like a
that's right, yeah,
an MMA thing or like something. He's like, "Yeah, fuck."
It's macho.
That's what it is. It looks like a wrestling thing, but like, so I'm okay with.
Yeah, no, that helps. I guess I just didn't. I must have just missed that 1 second. I probably saw him being shot, but I didn't clue.
They linger on it
so
quite a bit, but you might have missed it. But yeah, and they also show Rey can fight melee style. Like the only reason that guy sends those the rations guy The only reason,
Do you know who he's played by?
no.
Simon Pegg.
Okay, that's awesome.
I know.
But yeah, the only reason the Simon Pegg sends those goons after Rey to get the robot is just so she can show off her sick staff abilities, because they
Yeah.
never come back again. So they at least set up that she knows how to fight like with a melee weapon. Kylo Ren gets shot, and also it's a Star Wars movie. Who else are they going to fight? Who else is Kylo Ren going to have a sick lightsaber fight with? They already established Luke is the only Jedi left. So it's Rey and Finn or nobody.
That's a good point. The movie could have ended with no lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Finn had a bunch of them, but
Yeah, against that stormtrooper with sick club weapon.
I remember there being so many memes about that guy when
I remember they called him Traitor.
Yeah.
Like TRAR. Like how Finn's name is numbers and letters. They gave him a name like that too.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I was quite confused by that. I think you and I talked about that. Like,
Yeah.
so the baton or whatever the heck it was,
Awesome.
it's cool, but like, so I'm assuming this is a weapon specifically developed to fight lightsabers, because it can, otherwise a lightsaber would just solve it.
Well, I don't know. There's like there's been in the prequel movies weapons with like a little bit of energy.
Yeah.
Things
that
on
club
the-
has like electricity coming off it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just hitting it with the electricity part. I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. Like, could have just said, "Oh, we've in the time since the Empire, we've developed new weapons that can fight lightsabers." I don't know why, because there's only one Jedi left. But like you could justify it that way, I guess.
That's kind of, so that's what all went through my mind while I was watching it. I was like, okay, so maybe they developed it for a lightsaber, but they don't expect there to be anyone left. So
Yeah. Well, Luke had a school. They mentioned Luke had a school of apprentices until Kylo Ren murdered all of them. So maybe they're built in anticipation of that.
yeah, I'm excited to see the next movie, although it's apparently the worst, right?
No, Rise of
Oh.
Skywalker's or Last Jedi is the most divisive of all
Yes.
the movies. You either love it or you hate it.
Okay. Because I'm excited to see it. I mean, obviously, we're jumping way ahead here, but Luke's revealed at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone went crazy at that.
Original actor.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah. That's
I
pretty cool.
remember being in theaters for that. I went like a midnight showing. Friend of mine dressed as Chewbacca for it and all this,
Yeah.
and like Mark's brother.
Oh, okay.
And like I remember, people going wild at that point. Like,
Yeah. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it when it came out on like streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
And the only thing I heard from people I knew was that apparently the movie was garbage.
This movie?
Yeah. It's actually someone you know who said it.
Benny Boy?
No, it was I went to a New Year's party one year, like around in 2015, and there were people there who had seen it, and they're going on about how much garbage it is.
I think I know who would be
I know
saying
who it is too, but I don't want to out them.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I saw the movie. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this isn't garbage. Like, it's really good.
I feel like I've talked to him since, and they said that I think he might have changed his mind on it. I'm not sure.
Okay, good.
Because I think I got a different opinion.
Okay, but that always bugged me because like this, like it's good. Like after coming off the prequels, this is a really entertaining movie.
It feels very different.
I think that's like,
And that's good. Like,
Yeah.
but meaning, like, I mean, obviously it's 10 years later, but like, the prequels had a very similar feel, I guess. I don't know how to describe that.
I feel like it was the original movies were. It was so sets were so small. You know what I mean when I say small? Like
Wait, the originals?
the originals.
Okay.
Like it was like everything was like.
Because the prequels have small sets because they're all shot on green screen.
But
they're
they,
literally
but
small.
they filled the worlds.
Yes.
And I feel like now it's like they're trying to go back to what the originals were like, but with filled worlds. I feel like that's the feeling.
I want to say like this feels like the best parts of both of those trilogies. It has like the like practical minimalism of the originals,
Yeah.
but then has like the CGI and flash of the prequels
Yeah.
like combined. So like you kind of get your cake and eat it too, essentially. Like
Yeah.
it's really well done. But speaking about how it's different, it's like we should probably talk about the Chewbacca in the room. I don't know, couldn't think of another Star Wars reference. That this is essentially a soft remake of A New Hope.
we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
The only note I did right.
When we say this, we're meaning like it hits very similar story beats.
Yeah, the structure.
And, yeah.
I was gonna propose an opening where I was like, oh, Christ, I watched the wrong movie. I watched some weird remake of A New Hope. That's what I was gonna start.
We do our intro from the first episode, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Enough that we can't get sued.
Oh, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Have you seen Obi-Wan or the new Obi-Wan series?
The Obi-Wan show. It's like
The Obi-Wan
is
show.
that like the Boba Fett show? It's bigger.
It's bigger.
I wish it was like that. It's bigger.
This is how big the Boba Fett show is. This is how big.
So what? It's bigger. But yeah, because that's the Death Star scene, which I know it came back in some form.
Yep.
Star Killer base.
It was. So they knew what they were doing, right? They didn't just accidentally come across the same plot, right?
No. I proposed a theory to Chad earlier that I think the reason they did this is because so many people were turned off by what the prequels were doing that they wanted
to reset.
They wanted to appeal to what people liked about the original trilogy, because both these trilogies are divisive in their own way, but I think most people will agree that the original trilogy, most people enjoy them. So they wanted to prove that like Star Wars could be like it was when you were a kid, essentially. So I think they did that, and it is a very like safe thing to do, but I understand like the mindset of why they would do that.
I for sure, and I suspect that's their reasoning, but I guess I still always want to say like do another storyline, at least a different plot. But I get why they did it that way. I mean, I guess we'll see in the next movie. I'll see in the next.
I think that'll answer
from there.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of need to talk a little bit more about I don't know where I'm going with this. What do you think, going back to the start, what do you think of like Poe's character? That's an immediate new character.
That's the guy, the pilot.
Yeah.
It felt so different. So I'm watching this, and like I'm watching, like their encampment and all that stuff. It just felt like I was watching a different movie.
Like in a good way?
I'm not in any way. I'm not saying either way, but like it felt like I was watching a different movie. And then once it got going, like it's more recognizable. But like I don't know, just the territory they were on, the terrain they were on. So
it's still a desert, though.
It's still a desert, but I mean, it was at night mostly, right? Or all at night?
It was at night, yeah. They got like the fire going and stuff.
And like when Kylo Ren makes the call to kill the women and children, and like the stormtrooper like hesitating for like Finn, it was like, oh well, I wasn't. There were a lot more surprises. It wasn't as linear as I was expecting. It's just a little different. So it took me a little while to get into it. I suspect if I go back and watch it again, I'll probably like it more than I did.
Yeah.
I felt.
It really does just throw you in, like, too.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about the other movies that, as I was going along, I was surprised a lot, but it was like, as soon as it happened, like, oh, okay, I can see that. But then this one, I just found it was a lot of like, thinking, like throughout the whole movie.
Sure.
Not in a bad way, but just, it kept me thinking. So I guess that's a good thing. But
it might have been weird, like, why they're putting so much attention on that stormtrooper, too, during it. Is that, like, a concern?
It was weird. And obviously, the minute they pulled his helmet off, like when he got back on the ship, I was like, okay, well, he's going to be a character. I thought maybe it was going to be collectively the stormtroopers were going to. They obviously differentiated them with the blood.
I like that. That was cool.
For sure, and that's why I'm assuming they did it, so you can tell.
Yeah.
It's really smart to do that. And it's a striking image, too. It's like the most violent thing.
Yes, yeah. And then Kylo Ren picking up on that, like seeing the hesitation.
Like, he knows exactly who the traitor is later. He's like, yeah, it's Finn. Like, because he just picked up on it. Like, yeah,
it's I don't know. There was a lot to the movie, I found, and that's why, like, going back, like, even when I kind of just quickly summarized it before we came in, I just kind of clicked through. There was a lot going on in these movies, or in this movie, I should say. So there's just a lot of things to talk about. So I'm not sure where we want to go with it. But
what do you guys think of Rey as a character?
I'll
just say I like her, and I think
like as a character, like Daisy Ridley does a good job playing her in that.
Yeah.
The thing that I just found weird was, I don't know if we talked about this with other characters from Star Wars or whatever, but it's like literally like she's like an orphan, like scavenger.
Yeah. But the way they tell that is perfect.
Oh yes, yeah. It's just I don't know if I can believe like everything about her character, like how would you understand societal norms living out in the desert and all this, like growing up?
There's other people there.
Yeah,
The same thing about Luke.
I was the same way even about Anakin, right? Like we saw him his mother there, but he was still younger in amongst the.
But I mean, he was
working at like 4 years old. Is what
10 apparently.
He was probably 10, but
he was 10 at the time versus he had a chance.
Since
to
we're
grow
making
up.
that comparison, like this is how you set up a character and how you don't. If we're talking about Phantom Menace, like everything when you see Rey for the first time,
everything's purposeful.
Everything's purposeful and it's all visual. You don't even hear her say anything. The only time you hear someone talk is the rations guy. It's her working on the thing, taking the parts, sliding down that hill.
That was cool.
Like it's like she's done it like a billion times. Did you know it's okay to do?
Yeah.
Her going back to her house and having her Insta bread.
That was that's so cool.
Practical.
I love that.
Practical. It's awesome.
Was it really?
Yep. It's
Did they bake a loaf of bread?
I have no idea how they did it, but like it does not look like CGI to me. But yeah, everything
Stop motion probably.
maybe. But everything until like she finds the guy taking BB-8 is all. She doesn't say anything until then. And it's like that's how you set up like this character's life.
And you understand, like you understand how long she's been there. You understand why she's so good with mechanics because she's been scavenging.
You don't have a character looking at the camera saying, "I'm good with machines."
I'm the best pod
You
racer.
see, my mom lost all our money in a pod race, and now we're slaves. Like, no, you tell it all visually. It's a film.
Yeah.
So I appreciate her introduction more than anything.
I can agree with that. Yeah, that's.
Do you think that's a more modern style?
No.
Just because, like, I'm thinking back to the originals, there wasn't as much of that setup. Let's say with like Luke's character, you got a general sense, but it was more just linear scenes, like lined up with the robots picking them, and you got a sense of what he's doing, and it was just more of like single shot scenes. Whereas this was a much more.
Visually.
Let's say like an indie film feel to it. Like
if it
a
was
silent film feel
the
to it.
cinematography is a lot more modern. Yeah, it definitely feels like the Star Trek movies, like it's shot like that.
Yeah.
Never seen Star Trek.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's because it's also J.J. Abrams, so it's like that's what it's filmed like. So, so
I just found, it felt more like in those scenes setting up Rey's character felt more like
artistic.
Artistic, yeah. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, something you'd seen in an indie film.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
Slam Dance or something. Yeah.
Well, that should just be in like regular movies too. Like it's simple enough for an audience to get. You get what her character's like.
Yeah.
So like it's part of the reason I like the movie. It has tons of that where its prequels was like everyone just turned to camera and saying, "This is how I feel."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even you carry it through the whole movie too, where it's like she's like so concerned about getting back to Jakku because she's waiting for.
Yeah, and that's not said. You find out.
Yeah.
It's like I guess it's a flashback, but you get enough to read into why she wants to stay there. It's because she's waiting for her family to come get her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is she in this movie?
I have no idea.
I would guess like 16.
Like Luke's age in A New Hope.
I could probably tell you how old Daisy Ridley was.
That's not going to help because they could just say she's any age.
Yeah, I know. But I guess she's probably like 16, 17.
Yeah, she's probably like in her 20s when she shot the movie though.
That's usually the way it is, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they always when you do a high school movie, they hire like 35-year-olds to play the students. So.
She was 22 when this movie came out.
Okay, so yeah, early, if she's supposed to be that in the movie, I'm not sure, but
that was wind.
Okay.
What did you guys think of Finn?
He's a huge coward, but they know he's a huge coward and they write it appropriately.
He's a huge coward, but he obviously does some pretty brave, cool things.
That's what I mean. It's like his whole character arc is, I'm a coward, I'm going to run away, but then he doesn't. And he goes into the base, he fights Kylo Ren with the lightsaber, even though he probably doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The only thing that annoyed me about his character is when they make up the plan to go into the base and they get there with Han Solo, and the whole crux of the plan is the fact that he can take down the shields. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know how to do that." What? We have people in space right now waiting for you to take down those shields. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take Rey. I'm gonna go. You can't do that. So we'll figure it out. That drove me a little crazy.
They kind of did that in Return of the Jedi, though, right? When they had to shut down the shields.
But no one lied about shutting down the shield.
It's true. Yeah, but they still got there and like, well, what do we do? We'll just set a bunch of charges. And
Yeah, but like they were in the meeting room. It's like, I can set, and Finn's like, I can take down the shields, no problem. There's not going to be any problem. Just get me in there. Oh, I don't want to take down the shields.
One of the other thing I don't like about that specifically is when Han Solo's like, oh, do we have a trash chute we can send her down or whatever?
Oh, I remember the first movie.
Yeah, but it's not the trash chute that I have. It's when he mentioned specifically trash compactor, where it's like, that's just too much fan service.
There's
like,
gonna be a weird alien.
Not even fan service. It's like
I thought it was a funny line though. Like I thought it was funny in the sense that it was. Well, I thought clearly like reminiscing.
I thought the punchline was more like, "Is there a trash chute we can throw her down?" And then Finn's like, "Oh yeah," because he's the sanitation guy. He's like, "Oh, of course I know." Like that's where the punchline is.
He didn't do that?
He did do that.
Oh, okay, I didn't.
And so it's like Han Solo didn't need to say trash compactor specifically.
No, well, that's the other problem with the movie. It's very like, remember this. Like when Han Solo comes into the ship for the first time, it's like, remember these guys?
Yeah.
Remember? Like the whole
like they're escaping Jakku and like they're like piece of garbage or whatever.
Yeah, that's a yeah.
So I had no idea Han Solo was going to be in this movie.
Oh really?
No, I had no idea. And then even when they came across the Millennium Falcon, I still wasn't sure. Yeah. And I fully was surprised when he came around the corner.
You must have not watched any trailers for this movie when it came out, or you must have avoided them because he's in like all the trailers.
Yeah, like it was
I wouldn't have necessarily known who that was though.
It was a big selling point, I think.
But you knew who Harrison Ford is though.
Oh yeah. But I knew he was in Star Wars, and like until recently I knew that like last couple of years we played Battlefront 2 and and it was Han Solo and whatever. But no, I had no idea. I was glad to see him. He was unfortunately looking old and
well, it's a miracle he even said yes to be in the movie because like I think the only reason, well, spoilers, Han Solo dies, but like I think the only reason he came back to do the movie is like, kill my character, kill me, so I never have to do these movies to go again, kill me.
I don't think that's the entire story, though.
He didn't. Well, they didn't even know they were going to get him back for Return of the Jedi back then. Like, he doesn't like these movies.
Oh, I know, but there's kind of been like a resurgence of Harrison Ford in the past 10 years.
That's why they're making that new Indiana Jones.
But I've heard that it's because he basically like went broke, and so he just needs more work.
Oh, so it's a combination of both things.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I've heard. I don't know how true that is.
But yeah, when Han Solo shows up, it really embraces the fact that like it feels like Star Wars the next generation, where it's like, we got this, like the millennial kids, and this is your grandpa's generation. This ain't your grandpa's Star Wars.
Well, honestly, I felt the same thing, like, but not in a bad or good way.
It feels like a passing of the torch kind of thing.
Yeah, it kind of like here's a character that's, and obviously, General Leia, but yes, like her coming into that was a good tie-in. But
yeah, it was another thing of like, remember this person when she shows up, and I don't like C-3PO that much. I love his introduction in this movie. I love it, where it's like you just pop into the frame. It's like, hello, remember me? You might not recognize me because this one arm is red. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't have ever figured that out. But it also shows that he grows as a character because he can understand social cues. He's like, wow, this is awkward. I'm gonna like, before he would have just kept talking.
Yeah, someone programmed that in.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing they've ever done with C-3PO.
It was an update.
Yeah. Hey, it's me. Loved it. I loved it.
I feel like we're jumping so much, but we've mentioned it.
Yeah.
We've mentioned the kind of like the battle plan room, or like the war room scene.
The one where they're like, "Is this like the Death Star?" It's not like the Death Star. It's like bigger.
I liked that scene because I thought they did a really good job of like spelling out exactly what needed to happen for the plan.
Yeah.
Like it was
probably could have guessed it, but yeah.
But like it was very much like, now we understand why there's a team on the planet, why there's like a dogfight going on and all that.
Yeah.
So,
but also fan service because Akbar's there. Remember Akbar?
I don't remember whatever.
Yeah, Akbar's there.
Akbar's there.
Okay. He was just in.
He's not the admiral anymore.
He's at the table. But yeah.
Okay.
I think they're even still using the same prosthetic. It looks very similar. It's still like the goofy mask.
I need to pause for a second. I have an itchy foot.
Okay.
So Han Solo. I'm just gonna talk about Han Solo dying. I was also not expecting that.
Oh, okay.
I was, because I knew it was the remake of A New Hope. The wise mentor dies. That sounds similar to something else that happened in a previous
Well, I thought
movies.
maybe they had done that with the beginning guy.
I really liked that scene because it was like very like
Like a fake out.
no when Kylo Ren is
Kyle Ren.
I said Kylo.
Okay.
Kylo Ren is
I heard Kyle Ren.
Kylo
That's
Ren.
me, Kyle Ren.
Han, Kylo.
Well, that's different. That's
when-
that's a whole letter wrong.
when him and Han are on the bridge.
Yeah, I love that scene.
And he's talking about the struggles that he's having and all.
Yeah, and you
this.
think he's talking about one, but then it's like a fake out, and he stabs him.
And you realize
But
he's
the-
telling the truth. But
I really like the lighting. How like when the sun goes out, the flip happens and all that. So it's like
it's red. He's red.
it's like
Yeah.
the light is reflecting the fake out that happens.
Yeah, it's.
I like that.
And Adam Driver's great in that scene.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was. I guess I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't know if like it's not surprising he kills Han because he mentioned earlier like when the time comes, are you going to be willing to
Yeah.
do whatever?
which is part of the reason I like Kylo Ren, because it feels like it's not something he wants to do. It feels like he's getting like emotionally manipulated by Snoke to be like, you want to fit in, right?
So who the frig is this?
I can't. He's the guy who runs the First Order, and I can't say anything more about him.
It's another.
It's Palpatine, but like, meaning, don't tell me it's a continuation of Palpatine, but
Fuck. I mean,
is it his? Does Palpatine survive and now he's just like this?
do you want me to
giant
answer you?
No,
No.
don't.
Okay. But you can tell from my reaction.
figure? All right, I'm gonna. Oh, I didn't read my prediction for this movie yet. We should. I'm super surprised by it.
Well, there's
all
not
right.
enough out in there to really predict anyway, so.
No, but this is based on never having seen Star Wars, so I'm
Yeah,
kind of
and-
curious. But
Your phone's over
We'll read
there
it
and I
out.
can't reach it.
no, I got it.
Oh.
We'll read it out.
Which one is that?
It's just my case.
Oh.
I just gotta wait.
I was gonna say I have no clue whose phone that would be.
Okay.
If it's not one of yours,
That's a free phone for you then, Chad.
Well, this is my free treadmill out there too. That's another story, but
Oh.
I'm curious if
Uncultured
you're going to
movie
even know
theories.
like any like characters or anything.
I probably.
What
will.
if he makes up some characters? Like he makes some like this turns into fan fiction?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. There is a new villain in town, and Harrison Ford, Han Solo, is old and slow.
Yeah.
He uses his pistol instead of a lightsaber now.
Oh,
Sort of.
C-3PO is the updated version of R2-D2. Oh gosh. And
How
is a
little you knew.
a personal assistant of Han Solo. There are more spaceship fights now than hand-to-hand combat. Nah. New Jedi are introduced and establish the new Jedi Task Force.
the Jedi Task Force,
Space Force.
the JTF.
Oh my goodness.
Sell that to Disney Plus. They might turn that into a show. They're desperate.
So I didn't write a prediction for after
Last Jedi.
The Rise of Skywalker. I didn't write a prediction for that.
There's nothing after Rise of Skywalker.
No.
No, I did Force Awakens and The Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't do Rise of
Well,
Skywalker.
make some fan fiction for the last one. Once we do,
But look how long The Last Jedi is. Unless
Yeah.
it's in there somewhere. We'll read it.
anyway,
Yeah, obviously it's funny because it's reminding me how differently I saw every character. I thought Han Solo was a Jedi. I kind of knew there was a pistol possibly involved, but I didn't really know. I thought Darth Vader was like in the previous two series. I thought he was going to be way different than what he was in the sense that he was going to be much more, because everyone compared him to Hitler.
yeah.
And and then obviously he softens at the end, and so
Yeah.
you see Vader in a new light
It's just part of his
at
character.
the end of it, which is I
Good.
kind of liked that about it. Like
Yeah.
he comes back, and it's just
It's good.
So I don't know.
Speaking of, why isn't that part of the legacy remembered for Kylo Ren? Like he idolizes Vader
Yeah.
so much.
That was actually a big plot hole thing in my mind.
Well, sorry, what are you talking about? I know he has the burnt up.
Like he
helmet.
idolizes Vader so
Yeah.
much, but like he.
Where did he get that helmet? Did he go to Endor?
Yeah, I don't know. But he doesn't. Like nobody's told him about how like your father was the one who brought balance to the Force when he killed the Emperor. Like he ended the.
Okay.
He ended the.
I thought you were going to say they didn't tell him anything about that happened in the prequels because no one's around who knows anything about the prequels anymore.
No, but like obviously like Luke and Leia and Han and like
Yeah.
all could have told him like
Yeah. But none of them know about the child murder. So
No.
I think Kylo Ren's okay as long as he's like, well, at least he didn't murder children. Wait, he didn't, right?
he made the
Well,
order
Kylo
to.
Ren's
He
better
did.
than children.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Yeah. But it is his granddad.
When you were explaining that, I thought of, I guess maybe it's from his perspective, he wants to finish what Vader never could. In
Yeah.
other words, Vader lost in the end. That's the way he's seeing it. Especially, obviously,
Yeah.
he's being manipulated
Well, they're
on the dark side.
Yeah, well, they're both characters who are like struggling with their light and dark. So maybe it's like he just. Yeah, it might be exactly what you said. Like,
I am hoping that there's a really cool giant fight scene with that, whatever the evil villain is.
Snoke.
Snoke?
Snoke.
Did they say his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I have to pick up on it. But anyway, I hope
Well, they
there's a
mostly
fight
call him
between-
Supreme Leader.
Oh, okay.
Supreme
yeah.
Leader Snoke.
Okay. I hope there's a giant fight scene with him. And he has like a
Yeah,
giant.
he has a
lightsaber.
giant. It's like a claymore, it's like a great sword. They need to do that. A great sword lightsaber. It's just like a long hilt with like a bunch of beams.
What?
Since we're talking about lightsabers, have we gone to the lightsaber fight that much at the end?
No.
I mean, we talked about how like the power balance and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite lightsaber fight. I love the setting, like the dark forest at night with the snow coming down.
That is.
It's the most visually striking one.
The scene and the emotion and the storyline, yes. I still liked some of the other fights. I wouldn't be able to name them, but like I remember thinking back to even some of the prequel fights, I kind of liked more in the sense that their choreography was a little better. I guess.
I guess.
I'd have to, if I saw them side by side, maybe not, but definitely visually, and like you could feel the emotion more coming into it.
You can see like the light on their faces when they're like
Yes.
clashing.
It's like they
looks
tried
so
to do.
good.
It's like what they tried to do in Attack of the Clones.
I was gonna mention that the thing where they're like really close on the
Yeah.
Anakin and Dooku's face, they're trying to like, and they didn't do it well. In this movie, they did it
Yes.
fantastic. Like it
Yeah.
looks good. I would put that as like a wallpaper. Like it looks really good.
There's a lot of wallpapers of this movie,
Is it?
Oh yeah,
or this series at least.
yeah.
But
But I was
yeah.
talking specifically this movie because
Yeah.
like that scene at the end, the fight, I love it. I think it's great.
The whole time I was thinking like Rey is fighting so emotionally, and I was there like, this is like a good setup for like being swayed by the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like?
for Rey being swayed by the
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because like the whole prequel is like they're talking about Anakin being afraid and fear leads to anger
Yeah.
and all that.
And also, you already know what's going to happen to Anakin if you saw the original, so
Yeah.
they can go in a different direction with the sequels because you don't know what's going to happen to Rey.
But it's very much where it's like you can tell that she's afraid and you can tell she's angry and all this.
Yeah.
And like that might be a good reason, another reason why she's getting a one up on Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Also, and Kylo Ren got shot in the gut. So.
Yeah, but like these are other factors that
Yeah,
are.
and like Kylo Ren's dominating most of that fight too. It's only really near the end where she's
Yes.
like really.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I do like this fight just because it's to me it's like I mentioned it earlier. It's a combination between the minimalism of the original and the flashiness of the prequel. I prefer that. The swords
Yeah.
feel like they have weight to it.
Yeah.
It's not. It has flash, but it's not super flashy. For me personally, I prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
I just like that.
Yeah.
I think I like that scene a lot, but my favorite setting in probably most of Star Wars is Maz's
Maz Kanata.
yeah, her,
Yeah,
like, that planet, but also like that little like setting. There's a lot that I like about that whole scene.
The fight stuff, or like outside, or just
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
about
Well,
it?
that bar scene is like if we're talking about comparisons to New Hope. That's just
It's very much.
that's the Mos Eisley cantina.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I like how they took like this like old ruins
Turned into a bar.
and turned into
That's
like
cool.
it just looks cool.
Yeah.
But things like that fight scene where we get the traitor guy or whatever,
Yeah.
the big.
I like
club.
that. Yeah, it's a good fight. I like it. I wish it went on longer.
I
though.
thought it was an amazing. There's an amazing shot in it where it's like a long shot and you're following Finn when he has the lightsaber on the ground and he's kind of mowing guys down for a while. But it's like this weird, like wide angle sweeping shot following him, and you can see Poe in the background taking out TIE fighters, and it's like, and it's very mirrored, and then they're like kind of like talking, like Poe flies right over Finn at the end after Poe took out like a TIE fighter, and Finn like, that's a pilot or something like that. And
Did he know who that was? Or is it just...
they met at the. Did he realize that was Poe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either.
Wait, Finn knows that that's Poe?
That's Poe, and like, would he have known?
No, I think they see each other when he gets out of the ship, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he realized it after, but when he was
I don't think
flying,
he
might not.
realized, but
But it was like a really cool shot.
even
where
I
it
forgot
mirrored.
about Poe because I forgot how he survived. Like, how did he get out? Like, I
Yeah.
was like, he's here, but did they have a good explanation for that? And it was like he crashed somewhere else. And
Yeah.
then he hooked up back with the Resistance at some point. It's a little spotty.
I mean,
but
it's believable to think that he probably has his connections to get back with the Resistance.
yeah.
Also, when the Resistance flies in over the water, I like that shot a lot too, where the X-wings on the water. That was pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of like visually nice shots in
So-
that scene.
In the whole movie.
In the whole movie,
Yeah,
yes.
it's really visually striking.
So I just want to switch gears for a second. X-Wing board game.
Never played it.
Never played it.
I'm assuming it's a dogfighting game. I've never
Yeah.
actually played it.
It's probably a bit too intricate to talk about right now.
Okay.
Isn't it like a Warhammer kind of thing? Or
Yes, sort of.
Okay.
yeah, we got to break out the rulers.
It has
Yeah.
rulers, specific rulers for specific ships.
Fuck
you're
that.
fighting with.
I'm never playing that.
It looks pretty interesting.
Sure, but anything that brings math into it, I'm like,
There's
nope.
tournaments around here for it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Another thing about Poe,
Do you really like Poe, don't you?
I love.
And
I should say it like that.
I'm
but-
assuming he's coming up more in the movies.
well, he's going to be in the other movies,
But he's incredibly frustrating in the next movie.
He is.
And that's the thing. I know you like him. Like, I don't like. He's fine, but I don't.
I just think there's a lot to say about him. I mean,
Okay.
I like Kylo Ren the most out of this whole movie. I think.
Okay.
But I just have trivia about him. That's all.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, Oscar Isaac
Moon Knight.
was born in Guatemala,
Okay.
which is where they did the shots for Yavin 4 in A New Hope. So Oscar Isaac said that he specifically wanted Poe to be native to Yavin 4.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
canonically.
That's
So,
neat. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's really cool.
It is cool.
That's pretty much all I got for him, though.
Guys, I'm kind of having a hard time thinking of anything else to talk about with the movie because I liked everything. I'm so used to shit talk. We just did the prequels where I shit talk everything.
There's, I would like to just have a quick chat about where the movies go from here.
There's one other
Go
piece
for
of
it.
trivia
Yeah,
I have.
if you have other things for sure.
A cameo by James Bond. Did you know about this?
Which Bond?
Oh yeah, Daniel Craig is the stormtrooper that
Yeah.
Ray uses the mind trick on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, okay.
He just wanted to be in Star Wars, I guess.
I think there's quite a few of people like that, but like Simon Pegg and
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
I think Simon Pegg only got that because he worked with J.J.
on
Abrams
Star Trek, yeah.
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 Okay, go ahead, Adam.
I just before we do that though, so you mentioned both of you guys think Kylo Ren is your favorite character probably
He's my
in this movie.
he's my favorite character in Star Wars in general.
Star Wars.
That's just me. I just think he's an interesting character. Which you'll see more in Last Jedi, but
I'm hoping they do more with this character for sure.
oh, they do. I just find him interesting. It's not that he's like
Yeah.
the most powerful villain ever. I just find him interesting. That's
Yeah, and I guess that's where it's thrown me off so much, like because I had all these preconceived notions about Star Wars in general, all the characters, and Vader threw me off so much because I expected him to be essentially all powerful, but then you find his weak points and whatever.
He is super powerful, by the way. I just watched
Yeah.
the new Obi-Wan show. Spoilers. There's a ship that's about to take off. He uses the Force to immediately ground it.
Oh, jeez.
And then rips it in half. And I'm like, where the hell was this? Why didn't he use that in the original movies?
What?
Yeah.
So he just has water everywhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, so when Kylo Ren came up, I was thinking they'd finally have this all power, but then now it's taken a different turn. In my mind, at least, like it's very much a hesitant villain, powerful but like not perfect, and which I like.
That's
but
what makes
I
him
guess I was
interesting.
expecting something different. Is why it's thrown me off.
If he was just an all-powerful guy, then that wouldn't be as interesting as just having a well-defined character. Like,
the other thing is, I feel like, according to what we've seen in the saga so far, like the prequel and the original trilogy, I'd say he's more powerful than Darth Vader. Not knowing what you just told me.
oh yeah,
about
yeah,
Obi-Wan
oh
Kenobi.
yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Him stopping the blaster shot is like, and he's not.
And then he holds it there while having a
he's
whole
not, he
conversation.
doesn't even have like a hand up. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And as soon as he leaves, the blaster goes off.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I would. Yeah.
It's almost like like power aside, it's almost like he has new, cooler tricks up his. I mean, that's obviously just the movie's advancing and they're doing different things, but like straight
Or just
power for
writers
power.
coming up with new ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also they were limited by choreography moves and cinematography shots and all that stuff in
Yeah.
the prequels, so or in the originals.
Oh, yeah.
So like obviously it's hard to really judge that, but
Oh yeah. I was just.
but no,
Main
it's
conversation.
Yeah. But no, I do like him. I'm expecting I'll like him more as it goes on. Like I said, I was just so surprised I just couldn't get behind it right away. I do like Rey. She's not my favorite female lead. I think I actually, it's probably controversial, but I did like Padme in the first two of the prequels.
Can't agree with that. I don't
But-
like Padme at all. I know you guys.
When
do.
you were
I
going to
don't.
say your favorite, I was hoping you would say Leia.
I was,
Well, but
I'd
no,
say
I was
Leia.
working my way back to Leia.
Yeah.
I think Leia would be, especially if I had to pick a female lead, it'd be Leia.
I would pick Leia too.
in the
yeah.
first, probably the first movie actually, A New Hope. I liked her in A New Hope a lot. I again, I don't really have a favorite character yet. I still say Obi-Wan, I guess.
Yeah.
Like to date,
Oh,
in Star
to date.
Wars.
Yeah. And I know me saying Kylo Ren is my favorite character is probably controversial too. Because what do you mean? Disney ruins everything. It's like, no, I like him. I don't care. I can like things. Leave me alone, Internet.
I'm not going to fight you on it because I like Kylo Ren.
Okay.
So what's the next movie?
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. And this one's, how would you guys rank it?
It's actually up there for me.
I've only ever seen it once,
Me too.
Oh, okay.
so it's hard for me to remember everything about it. I remember looking forward to it because of the cliffhanger at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
And I liked that part of The Last Jedi where, like, obviously
It
picks up.
Okay, a lot of people hate. Well, that's everything about The Last Jedi. Either people love it or they hate it. So some people hated that intro, but I thought it was great.
I liked it, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, like I think the reason I like it so much is because I saw it. I didn't see it in theaters, but everyone was shitting all over the movie, and then I saw it. I'm like, this is good. Like this is
it was
really
expectations were.
yeah. Like maybe that's why the bar was set so low. I might see on this rewatch. I might change my mind. I don't know, but I'm like, this is good. Like it's really different for like a Star Wars movie.
It is very different.
That's why I like it. It's also made by one of my favorite directors too. So
I don't even know who it would be.
Ryan Johnson.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah.
Never mind. And I did. Yeah.
What does he direct?
Knives Out.
Not Looper.
Oh, he was
Okay.
Looper. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
But yeah, he's one of my favorite like modern directors. So
Yeah. I like him a lot too.
Yeah.
I like Michael Bay. I'm just kidding.
I know. As soon as you said it.
Although he's making mad bank.
Yeah. He's gonna reboot all those '80s movies.
Imagine how many explosions would be if he remade Star Wars. It would just be.
It would be explosion, Mountain Dew commercial, girl with big titties, explosion,
Well, and the Michael Bay sweep.
and the sweep. Yeah. And also, everything has to have a little bit of saturation. It has to be a little bit orangey.
And it'll take place in Miami.
Take place in Miami. That's so girls can wear skimpy clothing because it's hot there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
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 I'm
You'd
happy
probably
with that joke. Oh, that's my favorite joke I've ever made.
What?
It'd be Miami.
Pat myself on my back.
Yeah.
What the heck were we talking about?
I don't know.
Okay.
Star Wars.
So we were talking about the next movie. So the next one is Love or Hate.
Love or Hate.
Rise of Skywalker, everyone says is the worst.
Well, a lot of people didn't see it after Last Jedi.
Okay.
That's what I learned. That I don't like it, but everyone I talked to who hated Last Jedi didn't even bother watching Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
Is it time for confessions?
Was it your favorite?
I've got about 10 minutes into Rise of Skywalker.
And I haven't seen it at all.
And
You guys are saving this for me? What?
Okay, I didn't.
We're gonna
save
watch
it.
a movie together?
We are. I was gonna bring this up in the next episode actually, but then Chad had to.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna binge watch both the next movie and the next movie so I can say I've watched all the Star Wars movies before you guys.
don't do that.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing
Don't do
tonight. I gotta go.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no. But okay, that's really cool. That last episode is gonna be interesting then.
Yeah, I also. But
Do you know the plot line and everything?
I know all the spoilers from Rise of
Okay.
Skywalker. That's why I didn't want to watch it because I'm like, this sounds like the stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that.
It's funny because I spend a lot of time on the internet and I see like what could be spoilers. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta stay away from it. I won't. And then I like won't go on the internet for like a day or two until like everything passes.
I saw one spoiler. I'm like, this is a train wreck. I need to know more.
And because I'm like always like I don't want to be spoiled. I would rather just see the movie. And then I tried to watch it and
I know what the opening is, and I would probably do that too if I saw the opening. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm really curious to see it now.
Yeah.
I'm really curious.
You were joking about it earlier in this podcast. You hit on a plot point.
Oh no. Well,
The give up moment.
we're not.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it now. It's so bad. That'll be a fun one. That one might go long.
It will go long.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
No, that's good. I'm glad there's at least one. That's a good way to end the series. So we're gonna watch these next two movies, and we're gonna call it of the Star Wars series for now.
We'll be done.
I think I'm gonna go on to watch the Obi-Wan series. I'm quite curious about it.
It's not bad.
I would recommend watching the
Mandalorian.
Rogue One.
Oh,
Okay.
I haven't seen that.
I'd recommend it. It's pretty good.
Okay. I might save that one.
I mean,
No,
up to what you know now, it's something you can watch without being.
Yeah, you can watch the Obi-Wan show too because of that.
Yeah, that's
When did Rogue One come out?
2017, 2016.
It came out between.
Oh, really? Okay.
It came like they were doing like I think they 2016 because I think they did Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi,
And then
Solo.
And then Solo was in production for 7 years.
And the idea was Solo was supposed to come out.
But then they had to reshoot 75% of Solo after it was done.
Yeah, because they wanted to do the mainline stories and then the gap years in between. Mm-hmm. They wanted.
They're milking this franchise.
Yeah, it was
for all it's worth.
2016 for Rogue One.
Okay,
So
I'll probably see it at some point.
No, I think that's it. I think we definitely need to end this the way we ended the New Hope
Right.
podcast. Except, what's another word? What's a more modern version of what?
Oh, I was just gonna yell traitor.
Huh?
traitor.
Yeah, but alright.
Can you do it with the same intensity that Adam Driver does it?
Adam Driver doesn't do it.
Adam Driver right before the.
I'm talking about the stormtrooper.
Oh, Adam Driver yells traitor.
Oh,
He yells it like in your favorite scene, like right before your favorite him and Finn fight in your
yeah.
favorite.
I know that. I just thought I was talking about the stormtrooper with the club weapon.
Oh.
Anyway, we ruined the outro. Let's just.
Okay.
Uncultured podcast.
Why isn't that hard?
All right, do it again. We'll get to the sound. We'll get the sound of it.
Uncultured.
Uncultured.